Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Joe, and it's time for our Puck It with Joe over here on Sports Grid TV, IG, as well as X, formerly Twitter. Got 6 games on the board today, and we had upsets happen across the board yesterday on the ice with teams taking those L's. The Colorado Avalanche took the L, and no one thought that would happen. And the Boston Bruins, well, if you did, I didn't think that would happen. Boston Bruins also taking that loss with the Anaheim Ducks winning that one in overtime. I would have live bet, and I wasn't watching the game, so I didn't realize that one went to overtime. I would have live bet the Boston Bruins to win it in OT. I can't believe what the Ducks were able to do on the ice last night. So, you guys, you're right. Let's make some money today. It is time. 6 games on the board. We're going to fly through these games. I'll give you my picks, props, and predictions in all of these. There you go with the Ducks, Rocco. I love that you back them in that situation. Great plus money in there. That first period did come in under that 1.5 as well. We were able to get the money there. So a couple of nice hits yesterday. We had Kyle Connor for the anytime goal. There was a lot of things that did go our way. So let's make some more money today. We're going to kick off with the first game here on the board. And there's a couple of teams in a look ahead situation. One thing to note, and I think the Vegas Golden Knights are sort of in that situation versus the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. So, something to take into account. We know this is the only team that is sitting undefeated on the season. Huge favorites here over the Chicago Blackhawks. Current odds over on FanDuel minus 330 here for the Vegas Golden Knights, plus 260 for the Chicago Blackhawks, and that total coming in 5.5, minus 132 to the over 5.5. You got to think if Vegas is able to control this game, it would stay under because Aiden Hill's been phenomenal in goal. We know how hot he is riding a 1.73 goals against average on the season with a 0.934 save percentage. The Chicago Blackhawks, we know they've been struggling to score, but these two teams did just play each other. Connor Bedard was able to score in that game, and we saw the Vegas Golden Knights get the win. So, I don't know. With the back-to-back situation here with Vegas, I feel like Vegas either loses tonight or tomorrow night. So they play they play the LA Knights tomorrow. The LA Knights, the LA Kings tomorrow. So I think this could be a little bit of a look ahead for the Vegas Golden Knights in this situation where they're playing at home. The Chicago Blackhawks, a team that they've already beat on the season, and then they have to play the Kings, which is a much harder team. So I could see this being a look ahead. I could see them still coming out strong in this one, controlling the movement of the puck up and down the ice, but the Chicago Blackhawks somehow finding a way. I might look at taking them plus the 1.5, plus the 1.5 with the Chicago Blackhawks here is coming in at plus 100. But I think if I'm going to do that, I'm just going to sprinkle the straight up money line. I don't think there's any in between. It's either Vegas overlooks the Chicago Blackhawks or they don't. So I'm not seeing there being any way, rhyme, or reason behind that. So I will just take a little bit of a sprinkle onto that money line and see what happens. Keep my fingers crossed. This isn't my favorite bet of the game, not my favorite game of the night. I just think if Vegas can win tonight, they probably lose to the Kings tomorrow. And if they win, yeah, and if the Blackhawks win this one tonight, we'll probably see the best out of Vegas tomorrow in LA. We know LA is a team that has given Vegas some troubles in the past. So I do expect them to look past the Chicago Blackhawks. Okay, yeah, that was a 5-3 win, that last one for Vegas. Let's look at, and both teams did score in that first period, so that might be something to look at as well. Both teams to score in the first period of this game, and you're getting great plus money on that. The next game we're going to look at is the San Jose Sharks taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the Canes, massive favorite at minus 450 here, plus 340 for the San Jose Sharks. That total of 6.5 at plus 100 to the over. Okay, we rode with the Sharks last night because of Mackenzie Blackwood. That did not do us any good. The Sharks not able to even keep that game tight. Blackwood ended up being yanked. He allowed way too many goals. Now, looking at this matchup here versus the Carolina Hurricanes, The Sharks are on the back-to-back, and, so are the Carolina Hurricanes. Canes had a hard game, though, with the Seattle Kraken last night, a game that went to overtime, a game that they were able to get the win and fought back to get the win. I think they're coming into this in a harder situation than the San Jose Sharks. The pressure is on Carolina, but you've gotta look. They do have, Andrei Sheznikov. I can never pronounce his name right, so don't don't kill me on the pronunciation, back in the lineup. Now, he had a torn ACL and went out last season. This is a huge huge improvement for this team, especially scoring wise. He comes out and he can fire those pucks in the back of the net. So I do expect this one to go over that 6.5. That total of 6.5 is coming in at +6 or at +100 for the over 6.5. I think the Sharks can put their share of the goals on because we know the defense really has been letting down the Carolina Hurricanes right now, allowing 4.38 goals per game, which is first overall in the league. Shots on goal, though, they're limiting. So it is the weight is on the goaltenders here. Rantanen is expected in goal tonight. He's got a 4.41 goals against average on the season. So this is going to be one where I think we'll see those goals no matter what. The Sharks team total, it scares me a little bit to take because we know the Sharks have been struggling to get those goals on the board. They're only averaging 1.4 goals per game. Team total 2.5. Got to look at the plus money. The value is on the Sharks with that plus money over 2.5 at +144. So I'm going to sprinkle on that one as well. Need the bounce back tonight. There's going to definitely be a lot of opportunities to make some money on these games tonight. It'll be interesting to see how some of these teams come out. I just think the Canes, that big of a favorite. You could look at the Sharks, even, well, +1.5 is +136. If you take it up to +2.5, you're going to lay juice probably right around that 150 mark. They can get blown out as well. Again, not a favorite. The Buffalo Sabres taking on the New Jersey Devils, 7 o'clock Eastern matchup here. I think this is a great one to bet and to watch, especially if you like fast, explosive hockey, where two teams are going to come out, put up those goals, and really battle this one out to the very end. Now, the current lines on the Buffalo Sabres and the New Jersey Devils, we do have a 6.5. It's juiced at -168. So you got to bump that up to 7 to get better value there. I would still take it over the number of 7 because I do expect this to be 4-3 at worst and getting the push at 7, but I could see it going 4-4 into overtime. That being said, it's a lot of goals to ask. I would look at this first period. I do expect that first period for these teams to come out nice and strong. The over 1.5, again, we're laying way too much juice. You guys know I love going to both teams to score. I absolutely think that is going to be a moneymaker in this game. Young and explosive members on both sides of the puck for this game. New Jersey Devils are the favorite, almost a $2 favorite coming in here at -194. Now the Buffalo Sabres at +158. So much value on the Sabres at +158. When I really do think this one could come down to a coin flip. We look at the goaltending matchup. We have Eric Comrie coming in for the Buffalo Sabres, 2.05 goals against average with a save percentage of .923. And then Vanacek coming in net for the New Jersey Devils, a 3.10 goals against average, a .900 save percentage. For the Buffalo Sabres to be able to get something done in this game, all honesty, they have to stay out of the box. We have the Devils here with the best power play in the league, converting on 42.3% of their games. So if the Sabres come out and play a dirty game, even though they've got a really strong penalty kill, their penalty kill sitting right around 88%. I do think the Devils will be able to capitalize. We look at how hot this team has been. Tyler Toffoli has been absolutely phenomenal out there. Jack Hughes, he's been held off the scoreboard in the last couple of games. I do think he finds the back of the net today. Looking at Jack Hughes for the anytime goal, that's coming in at +150, and I think there's so much value. Both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at +130, you guys. Like I said, the over 1.5 is -174. So I can't get there with that. I do like this game to the over, but like I said, betting it to the over, you're going to have to get 7. I could see it going over 7, though. And I think that goal comes fast. Now, Really interesting. So a couple of days ago over on FanDuel, we took a goal in the first 5 minutes. This game, let me know if your book is offering it. They're not offering me a goal in the first 5 minutes. They're offering me a goal in the first 10 minutes, and they want me to lay 2-1 to my money. So they know the goals are coming in as well. And I haven't seen one of these games not offer that goal in the first 5 minutes. So I was really interested to see that. Okay, other players that I'd be looking at here to be able to make an impact in this game. We know the Buffalo Sabres, you got to look at Tage Thompson here. He's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to do a same game parlay for shots on goal for this game. And there's a reason why. The books have really, really juiced all of these players here. They know this young, fast team will get those shots, and well, both of them will get the shots and the goals on the board. So to build the parlay, when I think we would probably take these four players, 3 out of 4 would hit. There would be one of those players that would have an off night and the parlay when it cashed. So I'm betting all of these ones separately. Tage Thompson for 4+ shots on goal. It's coming in at -114. So we are laying juice. 3 shots on goal only in the last game, but I do expect him to come out stronger. He had 5 shots in the one prior, and prior to that, he had 10. Then Jeff Skinner. I'm going to look at Jeff Skinner here for the Buffalo Sabres as well. He's been so hot that anytime goal coming in at +175. He has 5 goals and 1 assist on the season. Shots on goal have been up there. 6 shots on goal in the last game, 3, 4, and 4, and 5 prior to that. You can also take him 4+ shots on goal. And this is a little bit risky here for him, 4+ shots on goal. This is the one that might not cash, but the value is there for me to ride him at this price, +162 for 4+ shots on goal. So I do like Jeff Skinner. Looking at Tyler Toffoli here, like I said, he has been absolutely hot. 6 goals, 3 assists. We look at him in the last game out versus Washington, was able to get 2 goals versus Montreal, 3 goals. His shots on goal, though, have been limited in some of these games. 2, 6, 5, 4. So his shots on goal, I'm not going to play. I would look at him for that anytime goal tonight. And then Jack Hughes, like I said, last couple games, he hasn't been able to score anytime goal today for Jack Hughes coming in at +115. Jesper Bratt, Timo Meyer, Dougie Hamilton, so many players you can look at, but I am going to target Toffoli and Hughes in this one. Okay. Just looking at some of your comments here. You guys, there's so many comments. I don't know how I'm going to keep up. I will get back to those comments. Let's move on to the next game. I see people coming in with the Chicago Blackhawks at +285. And I think that's the only way you can go with that game. I wouldn't take the puck line. I'd say they either win it or they don't. They spoil the perfect record for Vegas. We saw the 2 spoils yesterday. The third is coming here for the Vegas Golden Knights, just if it is today or tomorrow. So I'm willing to take both nights. If it doesn't happen today, I think the Kings do it tomorrow. Okay. Let's look at the next game here on the board. We have the Minnesota um Wild. I almost said Vikings. Washington Capitals here. Just give me 1 second. FanDuel's making me verify my location. I've been on the site too long. Okay. So the Minnesota Wild coming in at +106, -128 here for the Washington Capitals. Total of 6.5 at -118. To that under, no value on the puck line unless you like the Washington Capitals to win this one big, -1.5 at +188. Back to back here for the Wild off a disappointing loss to the Philadelphia Flyers. Unless you joined me in betting the Flyers yesterday, it's not disappointing for us. Definitely Carter Hart has been absolutely exceptional out there for the Flyers, and we'll continue to find spots to bet the Flyers and Carter Hart to have big nights. Now, the Wild only able to get 2 goals in that game, did allow 6. His defense just isn't standing up like we have seen in prior seasons. And the Washington Capitals coming in here off a night's rest. They got that huge win over the New Jersey Devils for us on Wednesday, cashing us some nice money. So we're happy with the Washington Capitals right now. Ovechkin able to finally get on the scoreboard a couple of games ago, and he has been coming out nicely ever since. Darcy Kemper is in goal for the Washington Capitals, and Marc-Andre Fleury here for the Minnesota Wild. I do think the Washington Capitals, off a day's rest with the Minnesota Wild here on the back-to-back, have the opportunity to at least take the first period. I think the Minnesota Wild are the stronger team when we look at these teams matched up. The Wild's defense, is struggling, and I think tired legs will come into this one. They are allowing 35.1 shots on goal per game and 4.43 goals per game. When we look at the Washington Capitals, they're only allowing 28.5 shots on goal and 3.83 goals, averaging only 2 shots, though, and 27 shots on goal, which is 28th overall in the league. So Marc-Andre Fleury won't take a lot of shots, I don't think, in this one comparative to some other teams because Washington just isn't firing at will. But I do think this is a game where we can see success for the Washington Capitals, at least straight out of the gate. So let's just look. The first period puck line here for the Washington Capitals, laying that half a goal. I would rather do that than the money line. You can look at the money line in the first period, but if they're gonna, hate that push. Like it could be 0-0 or 1-1, and then you get the push on the money line. So I understand why people would just do the money line. But laying the half a goal, I just want them to win that first period, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, anything like that of the combination. That's coming in at plus 166. So I will put the plus 166 on that puck line at minus a half a goal. First team to score. It paid for us last time at plus 175. Now for the Washington Capitals to be the first team to score in the first period's coming in at plus 115. So I'm going to back that one more time here. I do think they can come in and get that goal right off the bat. People going with the over 6 at minus 120. Yeah, you got to love what the Flyers and Carter Hart have been able to do and make us some money for sure. Okay, so that's what I'm liking in this game. I'm just going to look at that first period. I don't know how much I trust Marc-Andre Fleury in goal. I do think Darcy Kemper is the better goalie of the two. When we look, though, they're sitting right around the same. Their save percentage on the seasons both coming in at 8.68. So not top save percentages here. 3.5 kind of goals on average per game. These two are allowing. I do think this one goes over the 6.5 just because of Minnesota Wild's defense. This is a defense that allowed 6 goals last night that is on the back-to-back and will be tired with Marc-Andre Fleury in goal. So I think it goes over. The LA Kings and the Arizona Coyotes. Okay. Hey, everyone over on IG. I can see your comments coming in. I'm doing great today. So thank you for being here. Okay, the LA Kings and the Arizona Coyotes. Like I said, Vegas is in a look ahead to take on the Kings tomorrow, and the Kings are in a huge look ahead to take on the Vegas Golden Knights. These two teams, while the Sharks are also in the Pacific, we look at the matchups in the Pacific. The LA Kings want to take down Vegas more than they want to take down the Arizona Coyotes, and I think they're going to overlook the Coyotes tonight. I told you guys at the start of the season, the Coyotes, along with the Ottawa Senators, I think are two teams that we're going to see such improvement from last season in what they're able to do. Now, the Arizona Coyotes aren't at the level of the Ottawa Senators, but I do think this is probably one of the most improved teams on the season. And they're at home in this one. We know the Coyotes made us money to finish last season on home ice, and I think they can do it for us again. So looking at current odds over on FanDuel, and I think these odds tell you all you need to know. The LA Kings rolling in here, only minus 142 over the Arizona Coyotes. Arizona Coyotes coming in at plus 118, total of 6.5, juice to that under at minus 114. I think the young, determined speed here of the Arizona Coyotes and how hungry this team is, I'm willing to take a chance on them getting the win because I think the LA Kings will be eager for tomorrow's game. They have to go back home for tomorrow's game. Phoenix Copley is in goal, and this is a goalie. I actually have a lot of faith in Phoenix Copley, but he hasn't looked the same to start the season. We know goalies often have those struggles right out of the gate, so he's got a 3.87 goals against average. Vamelka coming in a net for the Arizona Coyotes, 2-2 on the season with a 1.85 goals against average and a .942 save percentage. So the hotter goalie is with the Arizona Coyotes right now. The LA Kings have a really strong penalty kill, but the power play has been strong for the Arizona Coyotes. So I wouldn't be shocked if they capitalize on that. We know the LA Kings are a really hard-hitting team. My mom calls them bullies out there on the ice. I still don't get that, but they are a hard-hitting physical team. I think the Coyotes' speed, though, might be hard for the LA Kings in this one. And again, I think they're completely looking forward to the next game. So I'm going to take the Coyotes. Their team total, I wanted to take their team total over 2.5. We're laying way too much juice at minus 166. Now, these teams just did play on Tuesday. And I said basically the same thing here. And what happened? Well, the Kings got the win 6-3. So it wasn't their day on Tuesday for the Arizona Coyotes, but I think now back at home in this one with the Kings knowing they just won this matchup on Tuesday, we'll see a different game here. Clayton Keller, someone to look at for that anytime goal for the Arizona Coyotes, and Logan Cooley. I like what we've seen out of both of these guys. Logan Cooley has those 5 assists. I would love to see him get the goal tonight. We're getting great plus money on that. The home team has won the last 4 meetings between these two teams as well. Okay, and last game. One left on the board, you guys. We have the St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks. Current odds on FanDuel. The Vancouver Canucks minus 188 plus 155 here for the St. Louis Blues. Total of 6.5, juice to that under at minus 128. Now I got a bone to pick with the St. Louis Blues. Just beating up on my Calgary Flames. And actually, it's not a bone to pick with the actual St. Louis Blues. It's a bone to pick with the Calgary Flames. What is happening to these teams in Alberta between Edmonton, at least there's a reason Connor McDavid isn't in the lineup. Calgary completely falling apart, not able to even get a goal last night, getting shut out to the St. Louis Blues. Now, St. Louis Blues roll into this game off that win, having to be in Alberta and then travel out to Vancouver. The Pacific Coast trips are harder on these teams. I don't like taking a team that won in Edmonton and then plays in Calgary or vice versa. And sometimes it's the same here with Vancouver, and I find especially when they travel from Alberta to Vancouver versus Vancouver to Alberta, there is a little bit of a time difference, just an hour difference with teams traveling in that time. Now, this is a 10 o'clock Eastern game here for the St. Louis Blues versus the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver is on the first night of the back-to-back. They've got the New York Rangers on deck tomorrow. The Blues, very limited minutes, and they have their better goaltender in net tonight with Jordan Binnington. He's got a 1.69 goals against average and a save percentage. It's beautiful at 0.945. Demko coming into net for the Vancouver Canucks. We know he's been so strong. Goals against average a little bit higher at 2.42, but that save percentage still nice and high at 0.923. I do think this one is going to be a battle. I give the edge to the Vancouver Canucks because they're not on that second leg of a back-to-back like the St. Louis Blues are. They haven't had to travel. They do have the Rangers on deck, though, tomorrow night. I'm going to look at this game to be one where both of these teams come out strong in that first period, but I think Vancouver is able to capitalize. I wouldn't be shocked if this was a 2-1 style first period with Vancouver being up. I'm going to look at Vancouver then on that puck line in the first period, and I just have to pull up current odds for you guys here, what that first period puck line is for the Vancouver Canucks, but I definitely could see them getting that with the St. Louis Blues rolling into town. The Vancouver Canucks first period over half a goal. That's not what I want. First period total goals over 1.5 is minus 136. So I do like that. First period 3-way, which means it can't be a push for Vancouver. That's coming in at plus 140. I like that. And the first period puck line laying that half a goal is plus 138. So we're actually getting better value by 2 points there on the Vancouver Canucks 3-way, no push in the first period at plus 140. So it's the same bet as the first period puck line. So I like that, you guys. I think that is going to be money for us again. Rocco rolling with the Blues again. I don't know. This Vancouver Canucks team has been strong. They have been scrappy. The over 22.5 save shots there. Okay, let's look at that one. So Rantanen over 22.5 save shots for the Carolina Hurricanes. We know the San Jose Sharks only average 24.3 shots on goal per game. So it's a hard one to take that 24 because this is a team that's not firing away. When I look at goalie save props, I really like to see a goalie that is going to face a ton of shots. If I was looking at that one, I would look at him to go under that number. We look at the Carolina Hurricanes, they're only allowing 26.6 shots on goal per game. So I would say he goes under that one. It's such a low number to take to the under though. So good luck. Good luck with that bet. It's something I wouldn't bet a goalie prop in that game. If you're looking for a goalie prop, I would look at a team that fires away a lot with against a really strong goalie. I think that would probably be a good bet in well, the Buffalo Sabres and the New Jersey Devils, I know we're gonna get a ton of shots in that one. Both of those goalies do have solid numbers. I'd look at it there, but I think the St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks, I think both of these teams are going to get those shots. And while the St. Louis Blues only averaging that 25.2, we know the Vancouver Canucks giving up around 30. So I think Jordan Binghamton can stand on his head and Demko. While I like that first period to be explosive, I think this one probably stays under that total, 6.5 as well. So give me a strong first period out of these teams, the over 1.5. I would look at Elias Peterson as well here for that anytime goal for the Vancouver Canucks. He's coming in at plus 145 there on home ice. He has 2 goals, 8 assists. Shots on goal haven't been the best. He's limited on those shots, but they are connecting when they do. So, you guys, that is what I'm liking. Let me know if you had any other questions. I see the Washington Capitals money line. I do like the Washington Capitals money line. That first period, though, is just screaming at me for them to have the opportunity to get some money there. Dylan Kosnan, goal and assist, plus 250 and plus 176. Are you able to play the points on that? I would rather Rocco take him for the point tonight. And that's one thing I'm struggling to find on the books as well, is taking these players for the points. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing the goal on a lot of the books and not even for the assist. So let me know if you're able to take the points, because if you're able to take a point at like plus 110, I would look at the point before I looked at the goal or the assist, because on his line, I do think there's an opportunity for both of those to hit. So you could take a half a unit on both of them, and that definitely would cover your bet depending on which way it goes, and especially if it is the goal at that plus 250. So I do like where you're going with that one. Okay, you guys, that is everything. 6 games on the ice. We have a whole bunch of games again tomorrow, I believe 9 or 11. Can't remember off the top of my head. And then Sunday, we're going to have a really early show on Sunday. So make sure you hit that notification button on X and IG, because I don't even know when the show's going to go off, but I'm going to have it up as early as possible. I'm headed up to Edmonton to watch the Heritage Classic. So one of those teams has to win between Calgary and Edmonton. It's going to be freezing. So I'll get the show done as early as possible. So turn on those notifications. But Game Time Decisions is kicking off here in the next 2 minutes. I will also be on Sports Rage tonight after 10 o'clock Eastern. I believe 10:20 Eastern I will be on, but stay tuned for a post on that. We'll be talking everything going on this weekend. So you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.